The Education Lounge podcast.
Welcome to the Education Lounge. This is our third podcast, and I'd like to introduce you to Hubert and Nadine, who are our parents with us, and we just wanted to have a discussion about education in general, really. So, welcome.
Hi.
With your girls, I know we started really early, and I think if we talk about perhaps why you decided that you wanted to start earlier rather than later, because some children come to us much later, sort of GCSE, when they're ready for GCSEs, etc. The younger ones generally come to us for exams, so for SATs or 7 plus or 11 plus, and I know that was never your aim. So really, what was the reason that you felt you wanted to start early?
Yeah, so I'll go. So I think from my point of view, I've always believed that education is the pathway to success. So I think early on we really wanted to support our girls, especially in the key subject, science, maths and English. So I think we discovered early on from my youngest in year 3 that she found studying a bit challenging, and we didn't really understand why at first until later on we found out that she did have struggles a bit with dyslexia. So really, it's really introducing her really early to help her, support her. We tried lots of other different methods to support her that she really didn't engage with, really didn't play to some of her strengths. So really introducing her to tuition, to a tutor. I had a tutor when I was young, many moons ago, but also, trying to introduce them to learning early. And we realised that, really she needed to, especially my eldest, overlearn, really have a rapport with someone. It's much better to tutors that she can get rapport with, someone she trusts, someone that she can build confidence up with. I don't know how you...
Yeah, definitely. I think the early on thing was essential purely because in the classroom setting you've got 30 children potentially, so the confidence was lacking, so it was really important in terms of her having one-to-one. That was the key, and looking at specific tailoring to meet her needs. And I think over time that's what's helped to build her confidence. But I think that early on was the key because there's a lot of repetition required. Usually, some tutors, or if you're, in terms of learning, it's very much kind of this is a curriculum, and that kind of was thrown out of the window in that it was tailored to her needs. That was the key. And from very early on, just reinforcing, looking at what's in the classroom versus outside of the classroom and what plays to her strengths, like you said. To help build confidence of her to gain the knowledge over time. So, yeah, that is essential.
How did you find it in terms of balancing your needs? Because you're both working professionals.
Yes.
And, it's not an easy task to juggle everything.
So even with regards to learning, I had to kind of adapt even my work to meet those needs, but it was tailored around school, so after school, whatever suited in terms of meeting their needs. I mean, as we mentioned, the eldest using outfit, so it was like fitting everything in, but it was kind of like, is it most practical at the end of the school day where you're exhausted? Not necessarily, so it was kind of maybe mornings, I think initially weekends, when sort of better performance and... Yeah, so everything was kind of tailored to meet our needs, really.
Yeah. I think what helped was you had options. It wasn't just
one size.
These are the classes that you've got. You have 6 time deals arranged, so different times on a Saturday, for example. Obviously, you've got different key stages. So really, we could adapt to that, and obviously the best day for us because it is the weekend, so we can come to the centre. So that is ideal, but it wasn't just one size fits all, which I think you could work around at time, and you're very flexible with different centres.
And it evolved over time, isn't it? It changed.
It's evolved so much.
It's evolved. As I said, it was one-to-one initially.
Exactly. When the older one started. I remember our first conversation.
Oh God, yeah.
And how panicked you were.
I was just exhausted because she just wasn't retaining anything, and it was very much me at home. You've got a young child and you're trying to, and it was just I just need help. just need help. How can we work together to try and
It's been a journey, Rupa. You
has
think about
been
when you first
a
met
journey.
when
I remember the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long journey.
It has, and I mean, certainly we've learnt a lot along the way. You know, it's not just about teaching. It's about what we learn, about how children learn. Obviously, we know as professionals, you know, what's needed and how children learn. But then when you put it into practice, it's certainly my pedagogy's evolved a lot in these years. So in terms of the older one, we did a lot of one-to-ones, and even with the younger one, we did a lot of one-to-ones. And then as they got older, and we felt that we could integrate them into classes. Certainly when I was out of my depth, GCSE maths is not my subject. Certainly I can teach a lot of GCSE, but not maths. So then it was about transitioning them over. And I think that's worked quite well because they like the maths teacher.
And the confidence, because initially that wouldn't have been feasible. So again, because their confidence grew, then they were able to go into a group setting, isn't it? Where they like the tutor, they like the dynamics, they kind of,
Well, I think for me, it's I think in a classroom setting, sometimes you can get left behind. Sometimes you can feel alienated because you might not be the brightest or your learning style's differently. I think what you've helped us understand is that my eldest will get it eventually, but it takes time, but not one size fits all. So you adapt your teaching style to her learning needs. And I think that has worked well, and I think she has got a really good relationship with the tutor. They both have, and I think that the confidence I've seen in my eldest, not just in studies but just in herself. And I think that rapport that she's been able to build up has been fantastic.
Because as you said, she's an athlete, and she's quite a high level athlete.
But you can see the improvement over time, and it's definitely attributed to her learning because she was just lacking in confidence. And so you've seen her go from, wouldn't necessarily speak up, as I said, one-to-one, to where she will actively engage, to where even in her athletics, she's coaching, which is not something, she's actually coaching juniors. And I think it was like, last time we were like, we're looking at it and thinking, is that the girl? Yeah, because you would never think, she would be directing younger, just amazing the difference over time.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
What's interesting is I had to go to work a little while back, and I brought my eldest with me, and the team were asking my eldest a question, and she was being articulate, she was answering, she was being responsive. I actually got emailed them saying, if your daughter wants to work, we can give her something.
Amazing, that's fantastic.
Before she wouldn't have that confidence to speak up and put her views across. So you can see how she's developed.
It's priceless in these times because what young people are not engaging, they don't communicate, but she's kind of been put in a setting where it's just encouraged that growth.
So that consistency has made a big difference.
Definitely.
And I think she knows in herself that she will get it. I think before she thought, I'm not going to get this, I don't understand it, it's too hard, it's too difficult. Whereas now she knows, I just have to keep plugging away, I will get it eventually. Might take me a bit longer, I might learn a bit differently, but I will get it. And you can see it. I will keep going, Dad, I will get it.
And she got that from you girls, definitely, because it was kind of, just keep going. I remember when we were frustrated, like, if we keep
don't give up,
we're going to keep going over it, and it's worked. You can see it.
It's that persistence. Because I remember in year 6 we had a couple of sessions, more than a couple actually, where she was in tears because it just
wasn't sticking.
Area. My God, working in area because it was a visual thing.
That's right.
And they were like not straightforward shapes. She found that so challenging.
And even her understanding her learning, that's important as well.
I remember a conversation we had where you said, it's not that she's not trying. It is not she is trying her best. And I think I can remember that conversation. It made me look at things a bit differently. In that, to support her, she will get it.
She'll get there. And that's come to fruition definitely because, as I said, when you see her just even in coaching, my goodness, it's a completely
brilliant.
Different child, completely different. And the other one's kind of aspirationally like, okay, I can do this. So that's why she wanted to come.
Massive change in her.
Same thing.
As soon as she went into secondary school.
Yes, the same thing. I want to be like that. So I want to be like that. So she's kind of like,
What's really interesting about the youngest one is she loves coming to the centre. and she will do her homework straight away. So she'll say, "That's done my homework, here we go." And then I said it every night. She loves the learning and loves the tutors.
And the funny thing is, earlier on, it was the same. She was like dyslexic as well, and it was that same concern of, oh, am I going to struggle? So it was, well, I want to do the tuition because she could see the difference. It's like, I want to go, because it will help
She
me.
always was very keen.
Never
Never
so
had
it's like,
a-
this is going to help me, and
I mean, the thing with dyslexia is that there is a lot of repetition, because I remember having a conversation about getting diagnosis. I can't say the word. Diagnosis,
that's right.
And where we go from there,
Yeah.
because both of them were so borderline
Exactly.
that you know they weren't extreme enough for schools to be able to do anything, and schools are so stretched that. Well, what do you do? Well, the you know, I did quite a bit of research on it, and it is simply repetition.
Right. Yeah.
Obviously, not just over and re-explaining things and adapting the teaching style so that
And that's a luxury you don't have in school.
exactly.
And
That was
that early introduction.
Yeah.
Looking at the curriculum over the year and saying, okay, you've got to do this. Let's introduce you to you early.
Yeah.
She gets that understanding, does it at school, and comes back. And I think that has been the key.
Yeah, definitely. And
Just forward thinking and planning.
Oh, do you know what? This week particularly has been a really tough week for all of us, and we've all been, as tutors, we've been really demotivated because things have been so difficult. And actually, yesterday or the day before, we sat down and we were in a meeting, and we all three of us felt, as sort of the leaders, we felt, why are we doing this? There's no point. Let's just pack up and do something else. But hearing this
honestly.
really motivates me again to think, okay, well, we are making a
No,
difference.
honestly, just when we got asked, just the journey, it's just been amazing. Because as I think you said, it's just like part of the family. It's just she's been involved with RTG, especially the eldest, for so long. It's like you just can't imagine her not going again. Like she's 16 now, and we're like, goodness, because it's just been.
We were saying earlier when Eldest was going through her SATs, and you had to work even in the SATs, and you think, is she going to pass? She's going to pass.
Yeah.
And then remember when she did pass them.
Yeah.
You know.
In fact, we weren't expecting to just get her through this. But at that time, it was just so stressful for her. Everything was so, she was just lacking confidence. It was like, she passed her SATs. It was just, and I think for her, again, it was that buying in that, oh my God, wow, I could do this.
I mean, that transitional stage in year 6 and 7, and then she started going to secondary school, and say she's gone from strength to strength.
Yeah,
Fabulous. Does she know what she wants to do going forward?
Yeah,
she wants to be a
physiotherapist. So in line with the athletic,
She wants to immerse athletics with physiotherapy.
That's fabulous.
So she's planned out what she's doing at sixth form, what degree she wants to do, and
That's incredible.
But the two have definitely gone hand in hand. It's the discipline again. So, and that's the kind of thing we say with your athletics, the discipline of you've got to do the work, you've got to put the effort in, but there will be people to support you, but you've got to kind of buy in. And I think that consistency from kind of year age 7 in terms of has fed into that.
And it is for the older one particularly. It's very much seeing that the consistency you've got to have in the athletics, the determination, the training.
Yeah.
I've had several conversations with her to say, well, look, you're training your body for this. All we're doing is training your mind.
100% to have gone hand in hand, isn't it?
And when you relate it to, your brain's obviously a muscle, you need to
exercise your muscle. For it to click, it's like it's taken a long time, but it's fallen in, and it's falling into place.
I'm so pleased.
So it's been an amazing journey.
How have you found, we've sort of talked about this already, but how have you found balancing her athletics? Because I know when you've had to go long distances for runs and that, we've had to adapt. And maybe give you the work or do separate sessions. But how have you found that in terms of not so much where we fit in, but in terms of fitting in the work for her alongside the athletics, alongside the schoolworks.
It's a routine. It's a schedule for everything. So it's a routine in terms of, and again, in terms of just, it's always been about structure.
Yes.
So you have to be organised. You've got, it's almost like your own timetable of this is what you need to get done first. Because then you're going to have to go, so you've got to prioritise your work, really, isn't it? And it's just always been about having the structure.
Yeah, so I think for me, we obviously know what her sessions are over the year. So
Yes.
she knows that. And we also know up front when she's going to have meets, where we need to travel to Sheffield to stay for the weekend. So then we can pre-plan that. So I can say, okay, she's not going to be in 3 weeks' time, so the tutor's going to bear that in mind. And then they can set appropriate work for her to do. Even if she's away, she can bring that work with her. So you can pre-plan that, and it's quite flexible. Even some occasions we can make up classes during the week that we can't make on the weekend.
Yeah.
So no, that is totally flexible. But also, she can't make a class. She gets some
She
homework.
gets the work done. She gets the work done. Fit it in, prioritise it. Yeah.
Well, hats off to you for managing it, because that's not a small task.
Yeah, but again, it's structure, and I think she needs structure. They both need that structure. So once they know, it's about the planning and just you need to get your work done.
It's funny because there's an old West Indian saying that it takes a village to raise a family.
Yes.
So it's not just us as parents.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. It's part of family because they say, the mystery part, mystery part. So it's like,
and they do see you as a part of family.
Yeah, definitely.
And all the tutors, so you can see how that has really helped embed
100%.
and support them going forward. So,
I must admit, I've treated them like
I know.
daughters.
And even I remember we used to say, I'm going to tell Miss Ruth, and she'll deal with you because, and you kind of need that, it's that tag team, and I just think, as I said at the beginning, where I was really at the end of my tether, and it was just like, this is a resource that's going to, and again, I've kind of just stepped back really, and it's been brilliant because I've not had to be so involved. It's kind of like.
And what's really interesting, I have learned as well, because sometimes when the girls get set homework, I have to look at it and mark it. And so sometimes after, especially on the online lessons, I spoke to the tutor said, well, this is the work the girls need to do, this is how you do it. So I've actually learned, going
and they know now, isn't it? That's mum's English, what I mean? It's like, but I've not had to, usually before it'd be so, it's like, no, they just get on with it. It's like, and if not, they know they contact their tutor, they wouldn't be coming to me necessarily, which again, before, it was like that kind of tension. So,
I think when they're younger, it's a lot harder
that's
because
right.
they can't obviously email us or whatever.
But now it's like, you're responsible. It's like, self-learning and responsibility.
Speaking of online lessons, how did you find it in lockdown?
So for me, through my work, I'm online all the time, and I think nowadays the young children need to understand that in the future, at one of my eldest, the youngest parents even the computer said, this is going to be the way of the world going forward, so you need to have those skills. I think it was helpful. It helps us balance home life as well, because you're at home, you just need to run
all
upstairs.
that travelling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They're both in different rooms, and I can actually come in and have a look at what you did.
They're on, that's it. So actually, didn't really, it's probably easier.
I must admit, with your girls, we've had no issues. Apart from the odd
glitch, technically, but
we've not had any issues.
No, it's easy, isn't it?
It's not the same with boys, I have to tell you.
Okay.
Very different.
Fair enough.
Very different.
But again, they know the time. It's like, you ready for your, we know the time. Get in there, get online, do the work. So.
I think it's going to show how much they actually enjoy.
They do enjoy it. It's not a struggle.
Going to the session, whether it's online or not,
Yeah, there's no struggle. They just, way of life for them. It is. It really is. Which you would not, most young people, you don't hear them say, I'm looking forward to my they look forward to it. Yeah.
So we've sort of talked about where the older one's heading. Any ideas with the younger one of what she wants to do?
God. It's got to be science.
Something to do with science. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I think she's she loves experiments. So she's got chemistry kits, and it's funny. Her pastime would be going through the periodic table. So Dad, what is the periodic number for iron? But she absolutely, when I was at school, I love science as well. So. But science is the thing. She loves doing experiments.
Because it's broad, but it's definitely going to be.
So have a look on the website. I don't know whether we've uploaded them, but I'll make sure that they are. We've put together experiments they can do at home. I'm sure she'll have done them already. And there's a periodic table worksheet where she can colour in and you know, learn from that. So use those resources, they're free.
Oh, definitely. Within scientists, so, but we'll see. She's got time to decide, so, but yeah.
Amazing.
And especially anything to do with biology. We've got a pond outside and we've got loads of newts in it, so she'll fish out the newts and Dad, this is this type of newt, and this is the life cycle. Anything.
Definitely. But then she would be like maths go, and science, so that's why she's very big on, and her confidence again has grown with the maths, because again she wouldn't want to try, she's aversion, failure, so, but now it was okay, I'll give it a go, and the confidence is built, so.
It's really funny because when she was with the tutor, she was adding and subtracting minus numbers, and she really didn't get it.
Again,
for some reason, it really wasn't sticking, and then the tutor really worked with her, and he said, Dad, it's easy, isn't it?
It's a bit,
Once
that
got to that point, she's now going for string maths. I said, there's a formula, there's a methodology to it. Once you get it, and I think that from that point, she was going. And I said at school now, she's actually tutoring some of the younger. She said, Dad, I want to set up a tutoring at home online.
Amazing.
Talk to her. So she really, and the teachers
her confidence. So you'll see, but just was confidence again, and it's just amazing.
And I think it helps her understand the subject as well. So I always say, if you can explain
exactly
what
exactly right. Because if you can't, I always used to say to explain it to me.
That's right.
And most of the time she'd be fine. Occasionally she'd fumble, but I know it. Well, no, if you can't explain it to me, you don't know it. So fabulous. Oh, that's so good. I'm so pleased it's worked out.
At the beginning it was a huge worry. But
I remember.
And there's been points where there've been highs and lows. You think about over the years, it's been consistent.
Because we were like, we're just going to keep going. We keep going. And now, as I said, we see a 16-year-old, I just can't imagine her not, because we know how she got to where she's at. And it's been just through that consistent approach in terms of just keep going, and you'll see the benefits. So they're definitely seeing the difference.
Well, hats off to you for persisting.
Hats off to you.
Thank you to you.
Well, we've been giving up, because it takes a lot. And that's what I was saying. I just remember at the beginning, I'm saying, look, I've got this child and I'm doing everything, and it's just, I need help. And I understand that it's not going to be a quick, but sort of years on, I'm thinking, goodness, it's paying off, definitely.
That's that partnership.
It has to be a partnership, otherwise it doesn't. Because we get parents who come to us, and it's almost like, well, you touched it last.
It doesn't
work. It doesn't work because they're only. We calculated that if they're with us an hour a week or even 2 hours a week, it works out over the year about one term. And we have to fit in everything into that, the whole curriculum. And it's just not possible without the practice at home.
Of course. And I think also my eldest can also go to tutor to say, I did this at school, I don't really understand it. Can you help me? Can we focus on this a bit? And I think it's really been helpful. So she's got the confidence actually to say, I don't really understand this at school. Can you help me? And then we can tailor it and tweak it accordingly.
Well, thank you both very much.
You're welcome.
It's been a hell of a journey.
It has been, but it's been brilliant. To be fair, as I say, the results, so it's paying off. And I sort of, thank you, really.
Thank you to you, thank you to the team. Hopefully we will come back and we will see the results.
Definitely. I will definitely be texting saying, how are they doing? Because obviously I don't see them much anymore, and I've got a vested interest because I've worked with them from such a young age.
We're not
going anywhere, so you'll know. A few years yet, but brilliant.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we just as a massive thank you
Before
we finish.
just
want to give you something.
Sounds good.
That's intriguing.
Oh, it's nothing. It's just another coffee. Nothing else.
I know. I'll have a sweatshirt that we pass.
You want one? Do you want one? What size do you want?
I'm an extra small.
Oh, wow.
Extra small. Nadine, there's for you, and you, but that's for you. It's nothing much. It's just
thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, was it?
Just a thank you for coming in.
Our pleasure.
Do you know what? I've made up my mind now that whenever I receive a good business, I'm going to say something about it.
Yeah.
People always moan when people do things wrong, and they never say when people do things right.
Yes.
So we had some fencing done, and the guys asked me to do a review, but someone put a really negative review for him. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
He really was, and I think the inspired me. But again,
One small mistake or something tiny,
yeah.
and it's blown out of all
It froze
proportion.
it. I just need to work out how to upload it on Google.
ITV does as well.
Okay.
It's Amazon voucher.
Oh wow! Oh my goodness! Should have done the same. Oh, a whole bounty.
It's just a small thank
No,
you.
thank you. Like I said, it's like family. I'm really honestly.
What time was that next week?
But no, it is like family, and it's our pleasure, definitely.
No.
But
You know what, when
the
the Dean
business is
said,
to go from strength to strength. You
it
know.
was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I could be not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do
And
that.
the other thing is, over the years, we've had even sort of, close family have said, oh, Trisha, we're like, you know what, we would never dream of moving them because it just works. Do you know what I mean? So obviously, you're like, oh, you can this tutor or that option or this. And we're like, you know what? No, this is what, this is what.
My next question is, what are you doing about A-level?
We've got A level.
Have you?
There you go.
We've got maths and science and possibly English.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not to the subjects of higher students. Is it business or social?
Yeah, business and sociology. There you go.
I do business.
There you go.
There you go. Oh, yeah.
I do GCSE business and A level business. I do.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got rid of us yet.
No, thank you very much. Are we good to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, great,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so
Thank you
much.
guys. Honestly,
I'll books, okay.
yeah,
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.